Hello, and happy Thursday. Happy Facebook Live time. My name is Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I've been a demonstrator for over 19 years. And I love it, love every minute of it. I've got some projects today featuring Valentine's theme. So Valentine's is less than a month away, maybe three weeks or so. So I thought this would be a great time to show you a couple of really quick and easy little Valentine treats. So yes, and I'm going to be featuring the Country Floral Lane product suite. I've used a couple of products from that suite, so it's going to be fun. I hope you're excited as well. So let's see. A couple of updates. We have the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event coming up in like about a week. We start a week from tomorrow. It's an amazing online event. Great community of demonstrators that participate with us and customers. It does tend to be the majority demonstrators. We do all kinds of projects, anything from 3D to various interesting techniques. And simpler, clean and simple kinds of things, but definitely oriented towards the avid crafter. It's a very, very fun event, day and a half long. And if you join Stampin' Up! And become a demonstrator as a Treehouse Chick team member, you get your very first Maker's Mojo event for free. So they are $45 to attend the event, but you get it for free as a new demonstrator. And then once you are on my team, you have an opportunity to earn the event every quarter. So super, super fun. There's also an amazing starter kit deal going on right now. So not only could you get the amazing starter kit deal, but you'd also save $45 by being able to participate in the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event, absolutely free. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. So I'm not seeing any comments. I suspect they're there, but it's just really hard to see them with my tiny little screen here. But do comment and say hello. Tell me where you're from. Tell me, have you started planning? Are you doing any Valentine's oriented treats or cards or things that you have planned? I'd love to know. So yeah, definitely share in the group. Would love to hear from you. Okay, I'm going to switch the camera around and we'll get started. All right. So there are all these kind of quick reminders of things that are going on. And the last thing on that list is to share, tag, follow, and like, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Please spread the word if you enjoy what I share. I love your help in sharing all the fun with other people. Okay, I'm seeing tiny little bits of people saying hello. Names flashing across the screen. Oh, hi, Linda from Virginia. Wonderful. I've driven through Virginia multiple times on trips, and it is so beautiful. Virginia is a very beautiful state. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that. All right, so we've got a host code here. I do have perks that I offer to people who purchase through me. Get a free tutorial bundle, and also if you spend $50 or more, I give you an additional free item that you get to pick from among some choices of Stampin' Up! Products. So this is a great time to buy because of celebrations. So when you shop, every $50 you spend, you get a free thing. When you host a party that's $300 or more, you can get a special host set absolutely for free. Hi, Paula from South Carolina. Every once in a while, I'm seeing comments. I'm sure I'm missing some of them, so I will definitely jump back in and say hello to you all and see who's here after the live. And of course, if you join again, you get the great starter kit special. There's 3 options with the starter kit special this time around, with a minimum of $76 in free product, plus a free paper pumpkin kit, free shipping, business supplies, catalogs, all the good stuff. It's a great deal. It's the best starter kit deal I've seen maybe ever. So that's the low end deal, shall we say. That's the smallest deal. You can also, the 2 other options are, well, that first one is $99. You get $175 worth of product, plus all the other things I just mentioned. And if you do the other two options, it's $129 and you get $175 in product plus one of the mini machines, either the white one or the new boho blue one. So just an awesome starter kit deal. All right, let's take that away and let's get started. Now, I do also have a fun little surprise at the end, which I will share with you. I want to give you a little sneak peek of a tidbit of what I'm doing at Maker's Mojo, at Maker's Mojo Creative Escape. I do 2 presentations. There's 5 demonstrators altogether that do presentations. There's 10 presentations altogether. So it's chock full of all kinds of tips and project ideas. So much fun. So I'm going to share some sneak peeks at the end. Okay. Entice you a little bit to stick around. All right. So we are using for today's project this Country Floral Lane product suite. Let's see. Oh, Elizabeth, you got your product shares today? I think I'm seeing a little comment come through. Maybe that's on Facebook. I don't even know. Flashing on my phone. So this is the Country Floral Lane suite. Comes with 2 beautiful papers. Very simple gingham style for that one, and then interesting and fun patterns there. We're going to be using those. These embellishments, which we'll also use. Those are what are they called? Pastel adhesive backed sequins. We're also going to be using this ribbon on the project. And let's see what else. I think that might be it. But and my original project, the one I'm going to show you today, is a takeoff on this one here. It's slightly different. Use different paper and different ways to embellish the front. So that's coming. All right. So I'm going to show you my version of that project. And I have 2 little Valentine's treats to show you how to make today. So this is the first one, and it's I've used the what is it called? Alphabet a la mode dies. I love these. There's a little piece of vellum in the background to kind of make the letters stand out. And then I've got just this it's wrapped around the candy. But this is the fun part, as if it's not fun enough, is that the candy pulls up and out. So it's a Hershey's chocolate bar with almonds. That's my favorite kind. Comment, are you an almond and chocolate lover, or a chocolate lover, or not a chocolate lover at all? How is that possible? So anyway, there's a magic way that this opens and closes in this fun little way. I adapted this size-wise and made it so it sneaks in there. Now, you kind of need to tell somebody that they pull up, right? Otherwise, they're likely to untie the bow, which, that works too. But the fun part is that it pulls up. All right. So let's get started. Now, I just realized that I forgot to grab my candy bar. Where is my spare candy bar? You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this one out of here. So it just fits in like that. Okay. So you get the idea. And we'll use this one. All right. So we're going to start with a piece of craft cardstock. This is 5 inches by 6 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and start by scoring it. Now, Stampin' Up sells craft cardstock, and it's comes in 6 by 6 pieces. So works perfectly for this type of project. Just snip off snip off an inch on one side and you're all set. All right, so we're going to go ahead and score it. I put my scoring details here on so you can see it on camera. We're just going to score it at 2 inches, 2 1/4, 4 1/4, and 4 1/2. So the width of the chocolate is basically 1/4 of an inch. You can change the sizing up. This gap here is about 2 inches. And if you're using a chocolate bar that doesn't have almonds, it's a little bit wider. So you might need to increase the size of this if you're using a chocolate bar without almonds. You love the almonds, but the grandchildren love the plain. Of course. Isn't that so much like a child? Totally makes sense. I didn't appreciate nuts until I got to be older myself, so I understand. Okay, so let's grab a couple of my tools over here. So we're just going to go ahead and score on the score lines. Now, I should also say that this project is my project for the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. And when you place an order with me of any size, whether you use the host code or not, you get a free tutorial bundle in the thank you email that I send. You just have to watch for that thank you email. And if you spend more than 50, then there's a link to go and select your free product when you get that thank you email. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this small flap. And we're going to close this little, wait, actually, just remembered one step I need to do before I close that up. It's kind of an important step. So I'm going to punch a hole, and just be careful not to touch that glue, in the center. And I'm going to use this to gauge my amount. I want it to be hidden behind my cardstock, but not so far down that it's hard to get to. Let's see. Here we go. This looks like it's about middle. And then I'm going to grab a pencil and make a little mark where it's directly underneath. Well, this is going to be hidden, so if it's not exactly right, it's not going to be that big. It won't be a big deal. And that's just your regular old standard hole punch. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and seal this shut by just, here we go, let's get that in the camera. Just pressing this down. Let's see if I got that right. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Need it to be folded over. Why am I thinking there's an easier way to do this than I'm remembering? Okay, I think that's fine. Basically creating a little box without a bottom or a top. And I can just press that down, make sure it's good and attached. Here we go. Okay, now it kind of helps to have the candy bar in here when you're working on this. So let's start with a piece of ribbon, and here's where the magic is and how this little thing works. You're going to put your ribbon into the hole. And I know how the size of the ribbon written down somewhere, but I didn't pre-measure this, so we're just going to go with it. I think it's 17 inches of this burlap ribbon. So here we go. I've just threaded it through, and then I'm just going to take my candy bar and push it down in. And it's a little, this is a little bit longer than the candy bar, so the candy bar kind of goes from here to here. I wanted to make sure that it was hidden. You can see it in there. So it pushes down the ribbon, and I don't need quite that much, so I'm going to pull a little bit out because it's going to get tied with the bow at the top. So that's, I have my bow tied around the top. I just want some tails so it looks pretty. Now for this version, I'm actually going to use a piece of the designer paper that is this blue. It's balmy blue. And so that if you're doing a Valentine's thing and you don't want it like the pinky for a girl, for a woman, more oriented towards the female, feminine, you can do a slightly more masculine version. Now this has hearts on it, but it's a little bit more masculine. So instead of using the red ribbon at the top, which is part of the suite, I'm going to use a piece of this, what is it called? This is new, balmy blue and white. What does it say? It's called variegated ribbon. So we're going to use that instead because it'll go really nicely with the blue paper. Now this is not part of the Country Floral Lane suite. It's from a different suite. Which one I can't remember. I should, but I don't remember. Okay, and we're going to do a bow. So I need to leave enough room for a bow. Enough tails, that is. Now, I hope this is not going to make it hard. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to just tie my bow. And I like to use pencils so that I sort of have extra hands. Okay. can control the loops a little bit better. So I'm just going to go pencils in there. They're going to hold the loops in place. And I'm just going to pull to make the ears of the bow uniform and tighten that up. There we go. And then I'll just trim it off. And we need to kind of fuss a little bit with kind of getting the bow in place relative to the top bit of ribbon. But we're just going to go with that for now. Got to trim off that burlap ribbon. Okay, all set with the ribbon. Now let's do some wrapping. Let's wrap this up and make it look pretty. Okay, fix that later. Okay, so next up, for this one, I'm going to use a piece of white cardstock for the sort of first layer, and then the designer series paper. For this one, I use some mint macaron and then this other designer series paper. So let's start. The designer paper is 5.5 by 5.5 by 5 1/4, 5.5 in this dimension, 5 1/4 in this dimension. So these are the same width. There's going to be a little bit of overlap on the back. So let's see. Which side was I going to do? I think I was going to do this. Okay, so I've got adhesive on this edge on this side, and adhesive on the other edge on the other side. This will make more sense in just a minute. Before I do anything else, what I'm going to do is just kind of form this around my base piece. And I'm not going to make it like hug it. It's just going to be kind of wrapped around like a loose wrapper. And then it'll attach at the back. So I'm just kind of trying to form it just a little bit so I have a little bit of this shape. And then I'm going to attach my designer series paper. I've got adhesive on the back side of this also. And it's just going to be positioned so it's a little bit away from the edge, because they're the same width, but I don't want to see the white on the far end of this piece. And I'm going to do it just a little bit at a time. So just like that. And this side's going to be covered. And then I've got adhesive on the back side. These guys I'm just going to remove because I like to put it on a little bit at a time so I can make sure to control the edge, make sure that the top edge and the bottom edge are even. That looks good. And now I can take off this last backing here and attach it. Now there's a little overhang, but that's fine because it's going to overlap in the back. All right. I see, Linda, you like plain and nuts. You're flexible. I do too, actually, but I think given the choice, I take the one with the nuts. All right, so now I can start putting this together. Guess I should take that Post-it note off the back. So as you can see, the spot where the hole is going to get covered up by the cover. All right. So I'm just going to wrap this around. And I've got adhesive on that edge, so I'm just going to go ahead and snug it up, get it in place, and attach it just like that. So there we go. Cute, right? So how am I going to do my letters on the front, you might wonder. I have a great tip for you on this, which I can't wait to show you. So there was what we have so far. I got my candy bar inside, of course. And now we're going to do some love. So for this, I'm going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now this is the machine that you can get for free if you join. I don't have the boho blue one, but it's this beautiful color, boho blue, the body, instead of being white, it's the blue. Let's see, where's my little pieces here? Okay, so I'm going to show you a fun little trick that I figured out to make doing the letters especially easy. Okay, so what I'm using here, I got to show you the alphabet. Just running over here to get my dies. And I have a bunch of the letters off already, but I am in love with these letters. They're really delicate, tall, even though they're big, they just have a kind of, they're just delicate. And there are some duplicates of the vowels, like A and E, so that makes it really handy when you're putting together words. So what I'm going to start with is just a piece of white cardstock and a piece of an adhesive sheet, and I'm just going to attach this to one side. These letters are very delicate, but it makes it a lot easier to use them if you have adhesive on the back by using the adhesive sheets. So I just took off the one side, and this is a little bit smaller than my white base piece because it doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. Now, I like to use both the positive and the negative space when I do these letters. So when I say positive, I mean the actual letters, and when I say negative, I mean what's left over after you cut it out. So I have cut a piece of white that's the same size as this because I want to be able to use what's left over. Now, you may not care, but if you do and you might want the option to use it, I'm going to show you a cool trick. So my adhesive sheet is on the back, and so I want the white to be facing up, and then I'm going to get my letters positioned. Now, I could just, put them on my machine and lay out the letters, right? And try to get them exactly in the right spot. Put some washi tape on them, all that stuff, right? And that's what I did the first time I did this. But it's hard to get them in exactly the right spot, especially if you want them to be straight. You don't care about them being straight, or you intentionally want them to be at angles. That's okay too, right? Now, one way you can do this is to just lay it out, put washi tape on, right? You can see they're already moving around. And when I used the washi tape, it's kind of a little bit too tacky. So what it did was it actually pulled up some of the paper. So I found another way to do it. And that is to use a piece of press and seal. So this is, you guys may be familiar with what that is. Now, I could get these in exactly the right spot. That's what I would do. And I would press down onto here. Okay, and that works. You still have to get them into place. Now, this is especially useful if you're going to do multiples of a thing. Or if you're a demonstrator and you're showing other people and you want it to be easy for them, right? So the way to make it especially easy, especially if you've done it and you're trying to do it for others, is to take one that you've done, if you like the layout and you like how it's positioned, and then you take your letters and place them into the openings. I know you know where I'm going with this now. So they kind of just sort of almost lock into place because they fall into the little spots where you did it the last time. And then you take your press and seal. Make sure you got I think there's a tacky side and a not tacky side. Yeah. And then just press it onto here. And it's going to hold on to the letters in exactly the position you want. Again, this is especially useful if you're going to do multiples of a thing. So now all I have to do, probably have to cut off some of that excess. Where's my scissors? Oh, my goodness. I only have about 25 scissors around here. Okay, So we're just going to cut off the excess so it fits into the mini machine without a problem. And then we can just hold it like that. You can see I'm moving it around. And then put it in place over your white cardstock where you want it. And I'll actually do it down here because it's a little bit easier to see if it's centered. Press it on there because the press and seal is going to hug on also to the paper. You like that, right? And then just run it right through. So it works very well. I tried it earlier today, and I probably should just do it so you guys can see me take it off and you believe me. But I'm trustworthy, you know, right? I'm trustworthy. But I'm going to show you anyway. All right. The mini machine is a little bit more manageable because it's small, right? You can use it with a lot of the dies and the smaller embossing folders. Okay, so see it's coming off. And I can just pull it away from the paper. It's going to, oh, it's ripping the paper. Didn't do that the first time I did it. So I'll pull it away carefully. And we want it to stay on the dies, right? Especially if we're going to use it a second time. So you can see the dies are staying. Unless I pull it away by accident. And the good part is, as long as you have your piece that you did the first time, you can always line it up again in exactly the same way. So now you can see my white letter, my letter of my L is still in there. So I need to poke it out. And it's easy to sort of forget that they're in there. So you got to make sure that you get them out, because otherwise if you do it a second time and the letter's in there, it won't cut properly, right? So there you go. That's my tip with these letters. And now you can use both the negative and positive space, and you have the adhesive on the back side. Pretty nifty, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use our letters on the front of this piece. And I've got a piece of vellum here. So this is going to be what the letters are on. So I'm just going to lay that out where I kind of want it. I've got my cut letters right here. They have the adhesive on the back. So I need to separate the backing so to expose the adhesive. Okay, there was adhesive back there. Okay, come on. Okay, this is the trickiest part, right? Separating it from the backing. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. That one's easier. Just grab the one I just did. For some reason, that one was causing me trouble. Okay, so then I'm just going to lay out my letters. And I'm not going to press them down because I just want to kind of get them in place. And actually what I'll do is lay them out before I take off the adhesive. And I probably don't need to do it on top of that because it's probably making it harder. You could do something that's not Valentine's-like and just say hi, you know, smaller word. Okay, let's get my paper piercing tool. That will probably help. There we go. Helps release it. Okay, let's do our V. Has anybody out there gotten the alphabet a la mode dies? And Or are you convinced that you now have to have them after seeing this? Just curious. Comment and let me know. Notice how I'm picking it up with my paper piercing tool. That's handy also. Okay, so now this is vellum, right? So how am I going to attach it to my piece? Now also keep in mind, the letters, you know, they have some pieces that come out of the center, right? So if you're going to use your negative space piece, you want to remember to save this so you can put it in behind, so that the whole letter is complete. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my Magic Multi-Purpose Liquid Glue, which I love, and I'm going to draw some white glue in behind the letter. Just the tiniest little bit of lines. This way the glue is going to be hidden. I use this so much that I'm used to like drawing with it. It's like writing. It's almost like writing with a pencil. Now, I am gonna let this sit and dry for a minute, just because if I do it now, you can see there's some bigger spots of glue. It might ooze out and then show on the front, and I don't want it to. Let's see. So I see someone is liking these dies. Wonderful. You've been thinking about getting them. Yeah, they're wonderful. I just love these dies. And I'm not big on, I don't usually go for the alphabet sets, but for some reason, I just love them. They're delicate and pretty. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit and dry. That way it'll be tacky and it won't ooze and show through the vellum. And I'm gonna show you the other project that I have, and then we'll come back to that one and finish it up. All right, so the second project is super easy. Now this is a piece of the what is it called? Cottage, where did I put the catalog? It's the coordinating designer paper that also goes with the Country Floral Lane. And I'm also just gonna pull these out. So this is what I have left of my Country Floral Lane designer paper, the one I'm using for the covers. And then this is the other paper. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's called Country Gingham. And it's all ginghams in the mint macaron, petal pink, the balmy blue, and sweet sorbet. So lots of fun, really simple neutral patterns to use there. So for this one, I'm going to use one that has petal pink on one side and the balmy blue on the other. And I'm going to make this cute little treat that it's so easy to make, and you can make it in all kinds of sizes. So I want my, and I'm going to show you some finished ones when I'm done. I'm going to be folding this in the triangle, and I want my pink to be on the inside. So I'm going to do point to point. Let's grab my bone folder over here. Now, anybody out there who purchased product shares, you probably received them today or will receive them very soon. I know a couple people sent me emails saying they got them. This was a little gift that I included in your kit. So now in with your product shares, as it's just a little surprise. Oop, I shouldn't have said it because some people might not have gotten theirs yet. Oh well, the cat's out of the bag. So fold it on the diamond, the triangle or whatever, point to point, and then I'm just going to bring one side in so that this edge is parallel to the bottom. And I'm not bringing it all to the way to the edge. You can bring it all the way to the edge. You can go as close as you want, but I found that it just works a little bit better if you don't go all the way to the edge. And I'm not going to fold it quite yet all the way, and then the other one comes again, not quite all the way to the edge. And then it makes this cute little shape, right? And then I'm just going to use my bone folder on the edges to burnish, like that. And then I'm just going to take this one point and I'm going to bend it up against that edge, fold it over, just like that. And then it's a little cute pouch to put some candy in, some kind of treat, whatever. Put in whatever you want. Candy, you know, cute little treat, right? And then we're going to add a little embellishment to this as well. So I've got the Celebrating You stamp set. I'm going to use the Lots of Love image from that. And I've got some scraps of white cardstock. Now, when I cut for projects, I always end up with all these little neat piles of pieces that are exactly the same size. They work beautifully when you need a small sentiment or even a big sentiment. Sometimes the pieces are big, but I have this little bucket. I have other buckets like this, most of the time in white, sometimes vanilla, sometimes the black comes in handy also. So I had a few of these pieces that I thought would work well with the Lots of Love, trimmed it down just a little bit so it would be the right size. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stamp the Lots of Love on this piece. And I'm going to bring it down where you guys probably can't see it. Let's see. It's hard to actually, I have to get right over the top because this is a tight fit. Okay, it's a little bit tight, but there you go. I love it. Lots of love. Okay, now I'm going to use this postage stamp punch to create a little backing. And that's awfully big, right? That's a little bit way too big, right? So let's make this more of what we want it to be. So I'm going to punch out a full-size one. And then I'm going to grab just a scrap of cardstock, put a little bit of adhesive on the end. I already have put it on the end. And then I'm just going to hold on to this, make a little handle. And then I'm going to put it into my punch. And let's see how much we need. Maybe a little bit more. So I'm just going to come in and snip off as much as I want to make a little backing for my sentiment that's not the full size. So now we got a little backing. And I've got two sizes to play with, that one or this one. I could actually probably do another one doing thinner. I think I'm going to try that. Let's do a thinner one just for fun. This is a small little pouch, so I don't want it to be too big, you know? Okay, and that one has a funky edge, so I'm not going to use that. That's just my leftover. Okay, so let's go in there, and we're going to make this one notch smaller. See if it's big enough. Okay. Yeah, I think I like the smaller one better. Fits a little bit more tightly and nice in there. Okay, so let's grab a little bit of white glue. I'm going to put the white glue on the blue piece so I don't have to be handling it. Hopefully that's not too much. It won't be oozy. And then we're going to place that on there. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool so that way I can place it on and see what I'm doing more easily. So there's my sentiment. And then we're just going to go ahead and place it right on front. Now you can see this lifts up, right? But as soon as you put something in there, it pushes this down, and basically you don't have to put adhesive on there if you don't want to. So I'm not going to, because, you know, I don't need to. So I'm just going to grab a couple of glue dots. Now, when this is kind of poked out, the sentiment's really only a touch in the middle. So I'm going to just put glue dots in the center of the back of this instead of all over it. And ideally, I'd have some candy that has a coordinating color to this one. So there we go. Okay, let's finish up this other project. You can see how these are intended to coordinate. And now I've got my piece of vellum up here, and the adhesive on the back is tacky and, you know, it's a little bit more dry. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that on here. And it's going to stick in behind my letters. Got a little bit of some kind of little lint back there. Oh no, I think it's on the vellum, part of the vellum. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so now we just need a little bit of embellishments. Now these are part of the Country Floral Lane suite as well. And this is actually a half a pack because I do product shares. I ended up with a half a pack. Now I'm gonna, instead of using, obviously, I'm not gonna use red on this. I have these which are intended to coordinate. Let's see how those look. Oh, that's gonna be pretty. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use these little blue adhesive backed sequins in select spots. And give it a little bling. Simple, right? Definitely a little bit more masculine than this other version. So now you have a perfect Valentine's gift for someone you love. Cute, right? There's that one and that one. What do you guys think? Simple, pretty simple and easy to put together. Now, I want to show you the ones that I made for people who ordered product shares. These are made with the Fancy Flora Designer Series paper. And I made a bunch of these. And I'm just going to show you the few that I have still. The rest have been mailed. So you can see how I packaged it up, right? Put a little thank you on there. Put some candy in there. And they're each just a little bit different, right? So these are pretty quick and easy to put together. Now I also wanted to show you that you can also do bigger sizes. So that piece I started with was a 6x6, right? But let's see. I want it to be, I think I want it to be like that. No, maybe the other way. So I'm taking a full-size piece of designer paper, 12 by 12. Let's do this and see what it looks like. You want a bigger gift? Now this is the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper. It's a pack of 48 sheets, 12 by 12 sheets of designer paper. This is a celebration item. So when you spend $100, you can get this gorgeous pack of variety of papers for free. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm kind of excited to see how it looks big. Are you guys, anybody out there excited? Oh, you got yours today? Oh, I'm so glad you loved the thank you surprise, Elizabeth. So there we go. There's fold number one. Let's make this other one. Oh, this is fun. Now you can also do it with cardstock, probably a little bit harder to do just because it's thicker. But let's get my positioning here. Now, I have so much designer series paper, guys. A whole bunch that's retired, of course. This isn't retired, this is current, but what's it for? Using it, right? So say you have a little bit of a bigger gift you want to give to somebody. Isn't this a cute little idea? I think it's super cute. Make it big. So you can do 6x6 like we did originally. You can do 8x8. You can take a 12 by 12 piece. You know, put a bigger gift in there. Put a bunch of things in there, right? Stick it in a cell bag. Isn't that fun? I think it's really fun. It's very pretty with that paper, don't you think? I think so. A little biased, but there you go. Fun, fun, fun. Fun projects, right? Okay. That wraps it up for my project today. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around to a couple quick little reminders and let you be on your merry way. All right. Let's get my little cheat sheet here. So there's the reminders, right? So don't forget about the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event. I'm going to go, I guess I'll turn my camera around while I talk to you about all this. Oh my goodness. If you're, oh, you love them both? Wonderful. I'm so glad, Linda. So yeah, consider signing up for the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape. Consider buying the starter kit, getting the event for free. We have so much fun. So 5 presenters, 10 different presentations you can watch live in the Facebook group, the event group, or you can watch the replays or any combination of the above. So, and the quality of the products is amazing. So we have Joe Blackman from the UK, Wendy Lee here from North Carolina, who lives in state with me, that's how I know her, Audra Monk, the Crafty Yogi, and Anne-Marie Heil. So it's a great lineup of very talented demonstrators. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will be happy to talk to you about it. Plus, of course, if you join and buy the starter kit, you get the first event free. So let me know if you have questions. And that's what I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the projects. I will have a blog post with these projects and all the dimensions and all that on my website on Saturday. And then the YouTube video will go live on Saturday. This video will go live in YouTube as well on Saturday. So comment and let me know what you thought, and tell me what other Valentine's treats you're making. That would be fun to know. And I will be back in 2 weeks, so February 2nd, I believe it is, 2 weeks from tonight, a Thursday at 7 p.m. with another fun crafting project to share with you. I'm glad you liked the projects, Kathy. All right, we'll see you again soon. Happy crafting, everybody. Maybe I'll see you in the Makers Mojo event. Bye-bye. Oh, I should also say, in the video description are links so you know how to sign up. That would be helpful, right? All right, bye-bye.